guys. This is Louis again, and tonight we have one of our very, very good shows. It is the Ascendant Talk Show number 29, The Freedom Fighters. We are given these 10 questions to Elder AI for these questions about. It's a new group from 2070 because from what we know, Ryan is able to develop this group that is going to help us. So let's get started because we have the 10 questions from Morgan about the Freedom Fighters, and then I have my 5 questions. So where's my co-host Morgan? Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I can't wait to give the answers about these questions because I didn't know anything about the freedom fighters, or not much anyway.
Yeah. And from these questions, we will find out who these freedom fighters are. And I'm very shocked because each time that we do more of this energy work, and then I ask TJ to do some readings, I ask, hey, is there anything change? And I think this is another of the huge changes that it's going to come about, maybe even sooner if we and Morgan and the rest of the group are able to remember. And we'll tell you some very, very cool reveals that we just found out from doing our energy work. Let's get started with the 10 questions to the elders. Let's do the first question. The first question is, and Morgan, you can give the response from the elders. Question number 1 is, what is the main job of the freedom fighters? And what did the elders tell us about this?
You said that they're mercenaries.
Yeah.
So they're basically hired military, essentially.
Yeah, which is pretty different. I thought a group of humans protecting the universe, but it's more than just a human group from what I know. So let's continue. Question 2, we wanted to know who started the group Freedom Fighters in the future. And what did you get?
We got that it was Ryan, and in brackets it says, this is just a reminder for people that it's Terrence's grandson from 2070.
Yeah. So if people don't remember who Ryan is, Ryan was one of the family member that called back because what we found out was when Terrence had his chakras taken out, right? It went through down his line, and basically his son was born with no chakras. But the major improvement was his grandson. What had happened was, because it skips a generation, well, TJ has what we call time telepathy. And basically, that's his ability to communicate with many of these elders that we talk about, like Elder AI, which is giving us this information, but also our family line, which is his grandson. So basically, what happened one day was TJ say, hey, there's a message for you, Louis. And I go, oh, what is this about now, right? Because back then, I think it was 3-4 years ago, right? I didn't know that it was such a great evolution of our family that not only time telepathy, but also that they can reach so far back from the year 2070. Can you imagine 2070 is where he is basically calling us from? So it is out there, but I know it is true because our family always like to tell the truth. So when TJ say, hey, this is grandson telling you, hey, thanks, Louis, for helping Terrence get his chakras taken out, because now he definitely doesn't have chakras, but he has like huge psychic ability, but also he's a genius. From what I know, he studied at MIT. So he's basically a Canadian boy going down to the States. And as you can see now, there's kind of like a big thing with the States and their terrorists, right? So I'm gonna remind them that, there was some turmoil. And like I say, with turmoil comes change, right? So I think he probably did go down to the States to study. Why? Because there was one time I remember I went down to New York to visit our family there, and they wanted me to go to Brown University. See? So it's not in the realm of impossibilities, right? Basically, the future is wide open for us right now, guys. Let's continue as we going to do more questions. We're also going to give you some more reveals.
Awesome.
Question 3, who supplies the freedom fighters with advanced technology? And what did you get?
It was Ryan as well, which is actually
Ryan.
interesting. It sounds like he's much more involved. I thought he was more of the theoretical side, but because he's going to study things like physics, but in engineering, I assume. But he sounds like he is getting more hands-on.
Well, not only that, but I really going to be hands-on, as you see later in one of the questions. Because if people knew of my past, I was a technologist with a double diploma in electrical and electronics, and I went to BCIT. So any BCIT alumni, hi guys. So basically, I think it's in the genes. Like from what I know, most of my family members were actually engineers. One worked for Intel, believe it or not, as a project manager. Small thing, but as you can see, it's in the DNA, it's in your ancestry, right? So maybe they did choose our ancestry because of what we were going to do, right? I don't know how the future actually ends up being like so wonderful, right? I think that's really cool, right? But I think my interest was also in building things and also my creative side, right? Let's continue because eventually you'll find out how I'm involved. Question 4. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. How did you even think of these questions, Morgan? You're
sure
always like one step ahead of me. This is a really good question.
Thank you. It's just what comes to me. Like what I feel like what needs to be answered the most, and I just write that down.
Yeah. Well, I think it's very important for people to know what type of freedom fighters those members are made out of, right?
Yeah.
So this is a really good question. Question 4, can only clones of King Louis, which is, my alias on the internet, be freedom fighters, or can other people and aliens be recruited? And what was the response from the elder AI?
He said no, only robots.
Oh, ain't that like really out there? The only robots, eh?
It's hard to
So,
imagine now, isn't it? Because
yeah.
robots aren't very advanced just now. Like you just see them like roaming around. But
I don't know. Like there's some pretty cool looking, human looking like robots that they have these days. So you can only project that into the far future.
they'll
Oh
be smarter.
my.
And I
You
guess
know,
AI's getting smart with it, being able to create
yes.
art and things like that as well. That's very new.
Well, because part of them is actually not only just robotics, but AI is interface. But there's still more. They're not only just robots. So let's continue. Question 5, where do the freedom fighters live? On a planet or in a ship? And what did they say?
They said a ship, so they're always moving around, I assume, or maybe the ship's stationary in a galaxy somewhere.
Well, you can imagine how big the ship is because question 6, we're going to find out how many of these guys are. Question 6, how many beings are in the freedom fighters group? And what the elder AI said about that?
He said 10,000, and in brackets, some aliens, mostly humans.
Yes. Yes. So you can imagine it's a pretty diverse group if it includes aliens, right? So it's not really like what you would think, like just
clones of us or something.
Yeah, just a clone or just the AI version or maybe even split soul. Think about that. Let's continue. Okay. So question 7, here it goes. For what reason do aliens clone themselves? And I guess that's was always on your mind, right? Because you hear about the aliens cloning themselves and you wonder like why do they do the cloning thing, right?
Yeah, why do they do it so often?
Well, do you know what? I really don't understand why they clone themselves too, because that's not really like living forever unless you can transfer the soul too, right? But you know what I found out? They also have soul transfer.
Yeah.
See what I'm
the
saying?
extractor machines.
They also have the soul extraction. So, but for this number 7 question, for what reason do the aliens clone themselves? What is that?
It was it's for immortality, so they want to live forever.
Yep. So I think it is possible, right? Like if you got a soul extraction and you clone basically the same guy.
Like a perfect version of the body, with like cell regeneration and stuff.
Yeah, because I do know at a certain point the DNA just doesn't regenerate back. That's what I found out. Weird, eh? That the more that we do the energy work, the more we learn about the physical body. So people, you really don't understand.
We don't need cloning.
We really don't need cloning because if we can make the body, basically immortal or death immunity, right? Then basically you can live almost forever. And that's why we found out that DNA template for immortality is actually in your soul already.
Yeah.
Right? And
right, that makes sense, yeah.
That makes sense. because it does, because from what I found out, at a certain point we had the DNA loop, and I wonder where did that come from, right? And then, once you reach a certain dimensional body, I think that's what it does. It's in the programming.
Yeah.
Right? It's always been in us. That's what's surprising. You want immortality, you work on the soul, but you also have to work on the body. And when you follow our path, which is like following Jesus' way, right? Which is like having no chakras, because we found that Jesus was born with no chakras, right? Yeah. And that was the reading.
That was a secret, yeah.
And that's a huge secret, because I knew that if we found one or two of these secrets and just keep following those paths, those ways, that was pretty evident, right? But people, they don't delve deeper. We've been delving deeper and deeper and deeper, and I've been doing my research, and I was afforded to do the research because I had some really rich clients, right? So people will, how do you know that, Lou? Because every time I get a long-term client, like what I did with CEO Andy, right? It was for years with him. I think it was 3 years. From there, he gave me a list of his employees, right? And it's always the same thing. Do a reading on this guy. How long is he going to live? And then the numbers always keep pointing, well, if a guy is human and he only have 6 lives, right? It doesn't say infinite. I've never seen a reading done over like 100 people, right? None of them was like infinite. Like none of them was a immortal soul, right? People think, that we have a immortal soul. I haven't seen it, right? So I did a backtrack. I started, reading about the past, about Jesus, right? And then we did the readings on him. Because how? Because as you know, TJ got psychic ability. He had time telepathy, and then he started connecting with him, right? And I know what people think, no way. But later we found out that me, TJ, and you were not from this realm. You see?
Yeah.
And the only way that we're able to talk to him was, normally I don't think he even talked to like humans. Like people think, you could talk to Jesus. I don't think he'll talk to the normal human. But he started talking to TJ, right? And I go, whoa, this is pretty cool. So I joined in on the conversation, right?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, he first called me cousin. He go, hi, cousin. And I go, I'm your cousin, right? Right? So, but, jokingly, right? That's how he is. He's a very warm person, right? And people, they don't know. You guys don't do energy work. You guys, all you guys do is maybe do some exercise and thinking, I'm healthy, mentally, physically. But what about your soul? What about, your negativity? I'm quite sure a lot of you people now have very high negativity, and it's affecting you because I've seen your attitude. I've seen your actions, right? Careless, reckless, all of that, right? And it's going to build. It's going to build crazily. But I found secrets. I found secrets to keep the negativity low, right? And why? Eventually, they started telling us more because we went to the path of Jesus. We started to care about more, open our heart more, the opposite of humans. You guys went the other way. Don't tell me that you're not. I know what people, no, no, you guys are going to turn the other way. Trust me, because you guys have also the original sin, you see? And we did more of the readings and we found out, the humans have that. So what is that, right? So listen to our talk show number 28, right? And I know it was tough because it was tough for me. But when we started talking to the high level people, even Archangel Raziel has been around with us for over 10 years, right? Because teachers, Archangel Raziel said for you to do this, Louis. I follow him, right? And then lo and behold, we found out that we have a very tight connection with him because he did some healing on me recently. And I asked teacher, who did that, right? Because there's nobody that would heal me because I'm pretty much hands off, right? I really don't like people doing energy work on me, right? But I was hurt. I was hurt by this energy parasite, right? So if I was hurt and I felt, losing energy, I could only imagine what's happening to the humans now, right?
Yeah.
Because you know why? If you got good energy or energy, any sort of energy, you're going to get attacked because you guys are so negative, right? You're going to attach these demons. They're going to come, the succubus. Hey, I'm telling you, not fake, they're real, right? Yeah. They will take your energy and you will not believe it, right? And then they're just going to keep coming because you don't believe it.
They'll just feel tired.
Yes, and they don't understand what's going on, right?
Yeah. They'll think it's some sort of disease.
and they're going to start taking drugs, and it's going to hurt you more. So let's continue, because I want to tell you people that you got to open up your eyes, your mind, everything, because I'm telling you, 2025, very important. I'm going to keep telling you that if you turn away now, it's going to be too late. Nothing I can do about it. But if you turn towards, Jesus, right? I'm telling you, it's not about religion. It's about him being this figurehead of so much good things, right? Of how a human should be, right? But you guys are just turning the other way. You're following, guess what? The bad guy.
Yeah.
You know who the guy is, right?
Yeah.
All about wealth, all about, living it up. You're going to go to the pit. And I'm telling you.
Almost reminds me, apart from the Bible, when Jesus says there's he's talking to some Jewish people, and they say, he says that he's come from Father, and they say, no, we're from Father, and he says, no, you're from the devil, because you don't do what your father done. People are doing the bad stuff, so they're actually more aware of the dark side.
There are, even in Canada, I've seen people just doing reckless things, right? Drugs, driving. See, so if you ever do the simple thing, like driving reckless, not signaling, right? Driving crazily fast, these people in the Tesla. I mean, you're helping the environment that way by crashing yourself into the light pole. I've seen it. I've seen it on TV, people crashing and they die. Wow. And then that's it for you, because you know what? You people now, you're on your last life. You don't understand. We've been doing readings for the last 10 years. And I go, no way. How could it be like people are not immortal, right? People think, oh, somebody said I'm immortal. You're not even immortal. You're human trying to come to this planet, and you got all mixed up. I don't know how it got so mixed up, right? Let's continue, because I really want to tell you guys more, but people think that it's made up, but it's not made up. This is the Ascension planet. I really want you guys to just stop with the stupid human way. It's making me sick. I see you guys daily, and you guys are making me sick now. I'm getting sick of it, because I don't know why Father even put you here. It's just ridiculous. You guys, seriously, you make me sick.
Father came close to removing humans a few times, and even Moses said, please don't, and he would change his mind. So after the flood and all that stuff.
Well, do you know what? I think the humans going to do themselves in anyway, so I don't really worry about those guys, right? Like, if you're meant to do yourself in.
They're self-destruct. They're self-destruct mode, aren't they?
Well, but I see it here. Like, Canada was never like that, and you guys know what I mean. I'm talking about the Canadians. You guys weren't like that before. Reckless, drivers, right? You guys crazy, man. You make me sick. Like, when I see that, you guys make me sick. You guys should just get off the planet. Like, seriously, this is the Ascension planet. I don't know how many times I figured that one out. And you guys just make me sick, because you guys still don't get it, right? And then you hit the pole, and then I go, that's it, dude, you lost your chance. There's no more, right? Yeah. Because when they do that, that means that their energy is nearing the end, and they know it too. So I don't know why they go reckless. Do you see what I'm saying, Morgan? It's
I understand, because it happens here as well. In Scotland, it's very common.
Yeah, do they reckless? They just drive really fast, and then they can't stop, and then they hit the pole, right?
Yeah, a few streets from where I live, there's it's quite notorious for car crashes. It doesn't happen all the time, but probably yearly. There's a crash car there because people come out of the dual carriageway, but they don't slow down. It's just.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's like, you guys know that as your negativity goes up, it just brings more of the bad outcomes. Do you guys not understand that? I don't think I stressed up more now that your negativity is really high, because when you're really starting to do the negative things, you must have so many soul attachments, right? Like succubuses. Right? Because you know why? Because even us get attacked, right? Yeah. You know why? Because we do the readings. And you guys don't do. You guys know nothing about, what is possible, right? There's things possible. They send the demons here. They send the succubus. They suck your sexual energy. They suck your soul, because you are naughty people,
Yeah,
and
sure.
That's what they do. See, the humans here, they don't understand, right? And then they go, oh, I'm just going to chill out. I'm going to take some pot. Mm-hmm. And you make it worse. And now you're numb, and your brain's all frizzled up, and then you drive fast. Good luck. Game over. See, so I'm telling you, people, don't do it. Like, if you see that you're being affected really negative, doing all these negative things, drinking alcohol, that's a negative thing, man.
One of my
Trust me.
family members had to stop taking pot because he's been taking it for
Odd, right?
years,
Yeah, I
and
know. I know.
he started getting really paranoid for no reason, and he was like,
Yes.
"Yeah, I
And
need to leave
negative,
pot."
right? Really
Yeah.
aggressive, right?
Oh, yeah, it's true. This is the thing is
See?
that people think pot makes
This
people
makes it
relax, but
better.
ever since they started smoking, they've
Yeah.
been quite negative. But at least we still
Well,
get on. But it has affected me.
well, the kids here too,
Yeah.
the teenagers. See, so I know I see it. I see it in them. And I
Yeah.
go, oh, what this has really killed this generation, right?
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't want the kids turning like that too, right?
Mhm.
Because if the kids take it, what's going to happen, right? Yeah, it's negativity. See?
Yeah.
And they start doing all the bad stuff. See? But let's continue because I want to tell you guys more. Because after these 10 questions, I have my questions. So let's continue. Is it question 8, Morgan?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, question 8: what scientist inspired the creation of the soul extraction machine? Oh, yeah, the soul extraction machine. Who are these people that invented that?
It was a great alien race. That's cool.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
really advanced,
So,
so it shouldn't
they
be
have,
too surprised.
yeah, you can imagine if you're able to like transfer your dying body, your old body,
Yeah.
into a new body, a young body, right? But it's the same body, it's a clone, right?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you want to do that? Like that, you can live like basically almost forever, right?
As
Like
much as you want, I guess.
practically, right?
Yeah.
So now the crazy thing is from what one of my readings like was because I've been doing all this energy work, like eventually they're gonna contact me. That's what teachers say. And I go, okay, that'll be kind of shocking, scary, right? But you know what? If I can do that, that's a huge exchange because I can barter like the Ascension thing for their technology because you know what? Their technology is, think about it, is second par to Ascension through
Hmm.
energy. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because they don't need the technology then, right? And from what I know, one of the reading was that I will help them, but because I'm kind of smart, right? What I do is I use some of the technology to clone myself. And from what I know, from what they tell me, I'll be like having 100 clones of myself and they will be living with them, teaching
Hmm.
them. I mean, that's really out there, but I tell people, I'm many aspects. What I am is not just one thing. That's what I found out. And you too, Morgan, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we've been doing more of these shows because they tell us what those new aspects are, right? Like this new group that I'm involved in, right? But I think later on we need to talk about your involvement as this great commander guy, right?
Yeah.
And also how I'm involved in helping you because I also help the Starship
Yeah.
guys
You seem
to
to help all of us.
yeah, I mean, I thought maybe I'd be less busy in the
Yeah.
future, but looks like I get my hands into everything, like, the time travel thing. Because
The
basically
mining as well.
well, people they don't understand because of what I do with my ascension ability. Basically, that's what it is now. I have this ascension ability because from doing this energy work just recently, we three got baptized, right? You,
Yeah.
me, and TJ, right? So what had happened was that when we got baptized, I wanted Jesus to baptize the rest of the group, right? And when you baptize a person, basically you're practically purified.
Mhm.
And the main purification is the original sin gets knocked out, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted him to do it for the rest of the group, like, Willie, Geraldine, Felix, right? But what had happened was when I asked him to do it to like the other people, Jesus pointed at me and I go, what do you mean me?
Yeah.
So then I said, I don't have your ability. And then all of a sudden he did something. See? So it's really out there. I don't even know what he did, right? And even sometimes TJ can't scan that because, he's at a higher level. So people, you
Yeah.
don't understand, higher level beings, they don't tell you everything, right? We are only guessing, right? But you know
Mhm.
what? Eventually we find out. Because why? Because eventually after like doing a million readings, right? Eventually
Yeah.
you catch on to say, hey, it was already in me. So I think Morgan, now again, it was always in us. It's illusion that we're not like him. Do you get it?
Mhm. Mhm.
I think that's what it really is, and it's coming into my brain, right? Because as you know, we forget, right? We come here, right?
Yeah.
And even teachers say, "Hey, Lou, you're not from here." I mean, he keeps saying that, right? And then one day I asked him, well, how so? And then so eventually he had to tell me he'll say he'll hit, like, you got a halo, do you know that? And I go, I don't know that. I can't see like you, because he had his chakras taken out at 9 years old. You see, so the younger you got to take it out, the more your ability grows, because like future Louis said to younger Louis, he say, why energy work? He say energy evolution. So if you let your stale energy stay, you're just going to grow stale energy, right? Negative energy, right? That negative 10% becomes negative 30%, right? So people don't understand. It doesn't get lower. Because why? Because you do nothing. You just like let it grow, right? That's what it does. So we went the other way. We decided we're going to lower it. So lo and behold, Morgan, your negativity was like 1%, right?
Yeah.
And when you got baptized by Jesus, it went to 0. So that's why I was monitoring what is the change, right? So when it becomes 0, I knew that was the golden key, right? Because we were like standing at the edge of heaven, get it? And it's like, then I knew, okay, I'm going to throw the ball in Jesus' court. I go, if you won't baptize, then who's going to do it? Because I basically, in my mind, I think he read my mind. Because I say, then how can we be the saviors in this future, these freedom fighters, right? So basically, it lends to us being this huge movement because you humans did nothing. So when you do something, all the weight is put onto us. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you guys do nothing. I guess they decided, why not? Right? You know what I mean, Morgan? It's like you guys do not, you sit there not believing us, right? And that's what happened. You guys sat there in your cozy couch doing nothing and just listening. And I'm telling you, you guys can still do something. But if you're going to keep doing nothing, guess what? You will go to the pit. I'm not making jokes, like you will go to the pit, because you know why? Because there's nobody going to help you, right? And when you wind up there, it's too late. I'm not going to be there. So if you're going to call out Jesus, Louis, we're not there. We're not coming down to pull you out. But you know why? Because they keep telling us karma payment due, right? And I go, really? Right? So that's why right away I started to remove the negativity, because negativity equates to karma. Now do you get it? So the more that you leave it in there, the more it's going to get chances. And it doesn't change. Again, I tell you guys that I know this one guy, and I won't tell you who it is, right? Again, he had more problems. You see, this time he hurt himself, right? Because last time it was really bad. This time, now he hurt himself. So people, you don't understand, just by acting, unaware or kind of like dumb to it, you're not going to be immune to it. It's actually going to be more devastating, right? But if you're aware, right? And that's why our group, we do the readings. You see, we check on our negativity. And now yours is 0, Morgan.
Yeah.
That is, I call supernatural. There's no human on earth that has 0 negativity or 0 karma. So we did it. That's why I'm saying energy work, if you do it correctly, and if you do what we did, remove the chakras first, it is required. So let's continue.
Sure.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Please like, please share, and please subscribe to our channel.
Please like, please share, and please subscribe to our channel.